Welcome back to Ben Salutes. And when I was a kid, scary movies were actually scary. Let me take you back to a time when life was worth living. Let me take you back to a time where everything was amazing. Let me take you back to a time where nothing could get any better. Let me take you back to the 1990s, the greatest decade ever. In the 1990s, there was no major war going on. Everything was peaceful. No troops needed to be sent overseas to defend the nation. Everybody was able to stay at home and we had nothing to worry about. Politicians stayed out of your faces. You didn't have to worry about them bugging you or anything. They just stayed put and let the people alone. Nobody cared about what politicians did. They just worried about themselves. Satellite TV was introduced, opening doors to several other channels that people could access with the expense of a lot of money, but it was well worth it. In the 90s, there was constantly something good on every channel. You could not choose what to watch. You were constantly switching back to one channel, then to another, to another, to another. There was too many good stuff on. The Simpsons was dominating the airwaves as one of the most popular shows of the decade, and that other bullcrap copycat show that shall not be named was nowhere in sight. WCW Nitro and WWF Raw went head to head on Monday nights from 1995 to 2001, which would be known as the Monday Night Wars, where both companies tried to put on the best product possible for the fans. It was the best time to become a wrestling fan, as such most well-known stars were created from this, such as Sting, Goldberg, Hollywood Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and many, many, many more. Music was taken into an edgy direction. Artists like Marilyn Manson, Nirvana, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers took music into an edgy direction in which the music became demonic and sadistic and malicious. And it was awesome. For kids programming, Cartoon Network was created, becoming the first and at that time only 24-hour cartoon channel, which aired many classic cartoons from the Hanna-Barbera library to the Warner Brothers library. Nickelodeon also debuted Nicktoons, which were cartoons exclusively made by Nickelodeon, which many caused several controversies, some of the biggest being the Ren and Stimpy Show and Rocko's Modern Life. Disney Channel was starting to turn into a more teen-oriented channel, believe it or not, towards the late 90s. However, they still kept a balance of cartoons as well. ABC aired the Disney Afternoon for several, most of them being aired in the 90s. Classic shows such as Darkwing Duck, Aladdin the Series, Bonkers, and DuckTales were prominent shows that aired on the Disney Afternoon. Nickelodeon also kept a wide variety of programs. Nickelodeon also had a wide variety of programming. Their Nicktoons, as well as sitcoms and sketch shows that both kids and adults could enjoy. Sure, they were stupid, but they were stupid in a hilarious way. Teen sitcoms now are just stupid in an annoying way. Commercials were top-notch in the 90s. They were just as fun as the products they advertised, and they actually made people want to buy their products. Video games were also amazing during the 90s. Sega and Nintendo ended the 16-bit war and went on for the 64-bit war, where Nintendo made the Nintendo 64 and Sega made the Sega Dreamcast. Sony's PlayStation also debuted. Saturday mornings were worth waking up in the morning because they had good Saturday morning cartoons airing on that every kid wanted to see. Pokemon was created, one of the biggest revenues that came over from Japan to the US, and is still popular today, but not as big as it was back then. What I love about the 90s is every things couldn't get any better. Everything in the entertainment industry just was at its top notch. They just were all at a creative peak, and they just wanted to keep it that way. It's like they were trying their best each and every day, and all they wanted to do was make stuff for the fans, and that's exactly what they did. Also about the 90s is edge was just a key word in the society. Everything was edgy in the 90s, even stuff made for kid shows. Kid shows back then were made for both kids and adults, so an adult could watch it and enjoy it, and a kid could watch it and enjoy it. An adult could actually watch programs that their kids watched and not want to kill themselves. The sad part about the 90s is that I may have been born in the 90s, but I was born in like late 1992, and seeing as how I would have been very young, I barely remember anything from that time. I mostly remember stuff from the early 2000s. Basically, the early 2000s were also great because it was like an aftermath of the 90s. People were still stuck in the 90s. They didn't feel like the 2000s had came along. But it was one moment in 2001 that I will not mention that I think changed it into today's society, where everybody's afraid to just do different things anymore, and they're too afraid to do cool things. Which is why I love the 90s. It just couldn't get any better than the way it was back then. Let me salute a few more things. Cartoon Network started making its own original programming, such as Johnny Bravo and the Powerpuff Girls. Shows that weren't exactly aimed towards kids, but were on a kids network, but adults could also enjoy them as well. Kids WB and Fox Kids went at a Saturday morning war, with Fox Kids having Power Rangers, Godzilla the series, and Digimon under its title, with Kids WB having Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Pokemon, and several others. It was what I like to call the Saturday morning wars. Yeah, the 90s was definitely my favorite decade. Even though I didn't live long, even though I was pretty young when it happened, all the memories that I have of it just are phenomenal. I only wish I was a little older to fully appreciate it. Being an adult, I'm pretty sure I would have been 100 times better. But other than that, I'm satisfied that I was born in the 90s. Words cannot describe how phenomenal the 90s were, and I'm inviting my viewers to comment on this video saying what your favorite thing about the 90s was. I've given mine, so now it's your turn. Let's relive the 90s together, my friends. I'm Ben, and I'm signing out.